Hi guys, so just wanted to do a very quick update on the Alabama election. I had done, this was one of my very first readings. It was reading number 3. And I remember I did this reading just to test because as you know, I'm very analytical. So I like to look at this whole thing with cards as a form of storytelling, and I like showing the audience that there isn't a whole lot of mystery, even though there is some mystery to it. But I like to go into depth and to read the images and so forth, and to sort of demystify it in a way, right? So I remember I had not heard much about Roy Moore or Doug Jones. I had never heard of Doug Jones actually. And I thought, you know what, let me try this because it's the case of those, it's such a sure win for Roy Moore that I would be able to test my quote unquote psychic or tarot reading skills. And when I got the cards that I got, it was a shock because it showed, and I'm going to link below the video, the first reading I did. It was such a shock because it showed very clearly that he had a secret. There was a dark secret that was going to come out, and his life, everything was going to fall apart for him after that. There would be a standstill in the election, and everything would fall apart. And because of that, it looked like Doug Jones could win very much. His cards were a lot better. So, so I forgot about that. It seemed strange, and from time to time, I would check the news, and then eventually, and I thought, oh, that was so strange that it came out. I remember thinking that, and then eventually came out exactly how it had the cards that showed that there was a secret, and it came out, and things were started to fall apart for him. But it's not the end yet, right? We don't know really what's really going to happen. So I just wanted to do a quick update on that situation, and I did. So I did three just three positions for each. One for Roy Moore, another for Doug Jones, and another one for the overall situation. Okay, so this is Roy Moore, and two of the cards that showed up in his first reading showed up here too. So which these cards are the Hangman and the Scythe. So I would think, and let me show you quickly now. I put these steps together. It's much faster. So here's Doug Jones, and if you compare one here, the Roy Moore and Doug Jones, very quickly you can see that the cards for Doug Jones look a lot better. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, I would not want to necessarily party or say something because you have here the the only thing that concerns me here is the Five of Cups. In the position 3, so I don't know what that means exactly. But even if it's true, there is some sort of disappointment. You could still argue that the cards are just a lot better here than they are on the other side. And let me just go over them quickly. You see here that the Hangman is a person in a position of waiting. He can do anything. He's stuck, and a situation is outside of his control. And there's a cut. There's a sudden cut. Okay, and obviously it's a surprise to him, to all of us. It literally came out of nowhere. And you have a man at the position 2, the center, who's holding on to what he has. And I think this is consistent with his position, right? Which has been that he has not backed down and he decided that he's going to go all the way. And that's an opportunity. He sees this as an opportunity. And it's interesting that the card here, the key, okay, is in a number 3. Key sometimes can be seen as a very, very positive card, the card of solutions. But since the reading is not about Roy Moore, but it's about the whole, I shuffled it and did 3 little, these were just 3 separate rows, then you could argue that it's pointing to the solution being a cut to this opportunity, right, to him. It looks like it's not going to win. And you have the 8 of Wands reversed, which is an interesting card. It's a card of delays. Okay, so it's possible that even though we all thought that it was guaranteed for Roy Moore, with the delays, delays happened because of this the whole situation, right? That he's involved in. Okay, so it's saying that the key to the election is the opportunity that comes through an ending, right? In a way, this could almost sounds like it's a better. These are better words for Doug Jones than they are for Roy Moore. But that's what it. You can see here. He's in a situation where he has very little control over. He's holding on. He thinks he has an opportunity, has a chance, but there's a delay. Okay, and this is key to the election. So let's look at Doug Jones. Now, Doug Jones, you have here the card of number one here. You have moving on from worse situation to a better situation because of the secret. So in a way, obviously, we know that this has to do with the secrets of Roy Moore, not Doug Jones. And you have two extremely positive cards here. Actually, I would say three very positive cards. The Ace of Cups, upright, the Heart, and the Sun. And the Sun here, I do believe it has to do with not necessarily the meaning that I tend to have to use for these Russia readings, which is looking into something, but it really is just happiness and overall positivity. So I would read this as the secret through well, I guess we know the situation, right? So it's not that there's a secret or love secret or something. I think it's more about this. I read the position too, both Ace of Cups and the Heart together. Very, very strong confirmation of values and love. So basically, it's the win of values and love and something really positive here, okay? And that's corroborated by the card the Sun, which is another very positive enhancing card. So I would say that the secret gave way to positive values, to the Heart, and to the Sun, to a warmth and positive change, okay? And it's possible that the disappointment has to do with the supporters of Roy Moore. I'm not sure, okay? So, but it's important, we have to note that, okay? And then the last row was, I wanted to find out what's the overall outcome here and what's the overall situation. So it's describing a very competitive environment. You have here position number one and position two. We have both the Whip and the Five of Wands. Very aggressive competition. Okay, so the Bird's a lot of talk, a lot of chatter, a lot of aggressive chatter. Okay, and very disharmonious because you have the Lover's card upside down. Aggressive relationships go wrong. And you can see that Roy Moore, he fought with people in the Republican Party, even though they have now gone back to supporting him. It's been very contentious and a lot of fighting, okay? So it's consistent with the vibe of the election. And it's interesting here that you have a card of the Ace of Pentacles upside down and the Bear. The Bear generally means money, so it's possible that this means whip, but basically aggressive conversations from money people, from the boss. And because the Ace of Pentacles is upside down, I would read it as meaning the money people didn't get their way. They fought it very hard, but it didn't quite happen. So it's showing, it's interesting because I always have to remember in these readings, that the question is, and that's what every person who's very experienced in this says, that the question is not very, very important. So if I add, because I asked, what's the overall picture? What's the overall outcome? So it's just showing the picture. It doesn't tell me who won, but it's just showing like if you look at it from a dispassionate perspective, it's just showing that it's very competitive, very, very aggressive, and that the money people are really pushing it, but even money is not enough. Because we have to remember, for us, it seems, the whole thing just seems so shocking and grotesque that we don't really want to believe that this could even be possible, right? That a child molester. Okay, I don't want to hear that people are, it's obvious, okay, the guy, whatever happened to whatever degree, but it's pretty obvious that he's done a lot of shady things, okay? But basically, like I said, because even though all of it is sounds so too grotesque to be real, the truth is the reason why so many people support him, or seem so many politicians and political parties still support someone like him, is that there's a lot of money behind him somehow, and obviously he does not care about children or women, but there must be people for whom he could be a positive candidate, right? I mean, outside of the illiterate people who believe those kinds of, that a person who somehow abuses young women, children, right, or so, somehow is pro. I don't, the whole dichotomy and hypocrisy is a bit strange. But anyway, so you could see that it's showing here the money people disappointed. Okay, they're going to go all the way, you're going to push it very hard, but because the money thing is upside down, this will lead me to think that it will not succeed. It will not be enough. Okay, but I don't think that when it's look back here at Doug Jones, I don't think that it's a super. It's happy for us, and it's happy as far as the values go, in on sort of like a purity scale, right? And that it is positive, but I don't think that it's all fun and games for all the voters in Alabama. It's been a very contested election. Okay, so that's the overall picture. Okay, for Roy Moore, Doug Jones, and the overall situation in the Alabama election. And also, I just want to say that who knows, everything is still up in the air. I don't want to say that this is like some sort of serious hardcore prediction. Everything, it's not the end. It could happen that Doug Jones could still lose, but the cards have said for the second time very consistently that it looks like the outcome is rosier for Doug Jones. Okay, so that was that, the Alabama election update for this Sunday, coming Sunday. All right. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.